Police are warning Toowoomba residents to stay indoors, but they are telling people living near the Lockyer Creek around Gatton or downstream to evacuate immediately. People have already been rescued from the roofs of their homes as the water surge inundates everything in its path.
Grantham at the foot of the Toowoomba Range copped it next. A tidal wave hit the small town mid-afternoon and everything in its path was washed away. Homes, cars, even a plane. It is a disaster zone. Dozens had to be rescued, helicopters plucking the stranded from the roofs of their homes. Children went first as the flood water surged. And it's not over. More trouble is expected. More water tonight. It's the fourth time in 2 weeks roads into town were cut. But there always seems to be someone willing to take that risk.
I've yelled out for her not to move it and drive through, and she just kept going. I'm yelling out, stop! Come on, stop! Don't do that! Are you kidding me?
She didn't get far and had to be rescued by angry locals who risked their own lives.
It's ridiculous. You just don't do that. It's just a stupid thing to do.
More than a dozen homes were isolated.
It's not a compulsory evacuation. It's just if you want to go, they'll take you.
The rushing water separated parents from children.
Yeah, smiles all around.
The danger, though, wasn't limited to the water. This morning, a familiar sight, a sea of brown.
I've never seen anything like it. It's just terrifying. You think it's the rain, but it's not. It's the sound of the water because it's just going so fast.
Past your house?
Yeah.
But it's not all bad. This time last year, Toowoomba's 3 dams were nearly bone dry. Have a look at them now. It's the first time in 10 years they're full and overflowing.
I guess we just developed web feet. Quack, quack.
Tony Fabris, 9 News.
Evening. The waterlogged southeast appears to be at the point where it simply cannot take any more rain. Our dams are at bursting point. Our major roads are cut or in some cases washed away. And tonight there are evacuations in Stanthorpe. But nowhere felt today's torrent like Toowoomba, where at least one person was killed.
It is a sight this state, this city has never witnessed. Toowoomba is a disaster zone. A city perched on a hill under a torrent of surging water, picking up cars, swamping the CBD and tragically claiming lives.
The city of Toowoomba is effectively split down through the main centre of town.
It's feared 2 women were swept away to their deaths as West Creek broke its banks and the water rushed through town. A body was found in a drain late this afternoon. The flash flood hit just after lunch, 115 mils that fell in an hour. In amidst all the carnage, courage. Authorities raced to rescue people trapped by the sudden surge. People clung to what they could.
And I was just scared, so scared, because the fridges and some drums just started to floating, and it just passing beside the car, so I just couldn't go anymore.
With rescues prioritised by not life and death, but how many were in trouble, nursing homes and childcare centres were evacuated. Some stranded were asked to stay put, with no emergency services able to help. Others couldn't wait, and swift water teams did what they could to get to them in hellish conditions. Down at Helidon, it's just as bad. Desperate and alone, people are stranded on the roofs of their homes, waiting for help that for the moment can't reach them. The roads all around this area are cut, and it's almost too dangerous for helicopters to fly. The few that can be saved are the lucky ones. Authorities rush to get to this house, a woman and her cat pulled to safety. In the Lockyer Valley, the tiny town of Esk was the next emergency.
We've just heard the news that Esk is completely under.
Yes, there's a house floating down the creek.
You're joking?
No.
Locals say Sandy Creek went up 3 metres in 10 minutes and they didn't stand a chance. Reports of some 50 people rescued as the water rose.